you're still awake, and it's not because you're not tired. You're exhausted. Your body is heavy. Your eyes want to close, but something inside you won't let go. Something unfinished. Something unresolved. Something that only gets louder the moment the world goes quiet. I know exactly what that feels like. And tonight, I need you to stay with me. Because what I'm about to tell you isn't advice. It isn't motivation. It's something much closer than that. It's the truth you already know, but haven't let yourself hear yet. Subscribe and hit the bell. Every week, there's a new confession here, made for this exact hour. Made for you. There's a specific kind of awake that has nothing to do with insomnia. It's not caffeine. It's not your phone. It's not the noise outside. It's the noise inside. The thoughts that wait all day for the moment you finally stop moving. The feelings you pushed aside because there was somewhere to be. The memories that know exactly when to arrive. Always at the worst possible hour. Always when you have nothing left to fight them with. That's what keeps you awake tonight. Not the darkness outside your window. The darkness inside that you haven't looked at yet. And here's what nobody tells you about that. The fact that it keeps coming back. The fact that it won't let you rest. The fact that your mind refuses to go quiet. That's not a problem. That's your soul doing the only thing it knows how to do when you won't listen during the day. It waits. And then at night, when the armor comes off, when there's no performance left to give, when there's no one left who needs you to be okay, it speaks. I want to ask you something, and I need you to answer honestly, even if only to yourself. When was the last time you sat with how you actually feel, not how you're supposed to feel? Not the version of fine that you tell people when they ask. Not the face you put on before you walk out the door every morning. How you actually feel. Because most people spend their entire lives running from that answer. Filling every silence with noise. Filling every empty moment with distraction. Filling every night with anything that keeps them from having to sit with themselves. And then they wonder why they can't sleep. They wonder why they feel this vague heaviness that never fully goes away. This sense that something is missing, or wrong, or just slightly off, without being able to name it. The name is simple. You stopped listening to yourself, and your soul has been trying to get your attention ever since. I remember the night I finally stopped running. I had been awake for hours. I had tried everything. The phone, the TV, the mindless scrolling that promises distraction and delivers nothing. And at some point, somewhere after 3 in the morning, I just stopped. I put everything down, and I sat in the silence. And for the first time in a long time, I actually listened. Not to music, not to someone else's voice, to mine. And what came up wasn't pretty. It wasn't organized. It wasn't the kind of thing I would ever say out loud in the daylight, but it was real. It was the most honest conversation I had ever had with the only person I had been avoiding for years, myself. And something shifted that night. Not everything, not magically, but something fundamental moved, like a door that had been locked for a very long time, very quietly, unlocked. I'm not going to tell you that sitting with yourself will be comfortable. It won't be. The first time you stop running, everything you've been running from shows up. And that can feel like falling, like breaking, like the floor disappearing beneath you. But here's what I learned. You don't fall when you face yourself. You land. There's a difference. Falling has no bottom. Landing means you found solid ground. Ground that was always there, that you never let yourself reach because you were too afraid to stop moving long enough to feel it. The silence isn't empty. It's full of everything you've been needing to hear, and the only way to hear it is to stop, to stay, to let the night be what it actually is, not an enemy, not something to survive, a conversation between you and the part of yourself that never stopped trying to reach you. So tonight, before you reach for your phone, before you put something on in the background, before you do anything to fill the quiet, try something different. Just stay. 30 seconds, 1 minute, whatever you can manage. Sit in the silence and ask yourself one question. What am I not saying, even to myself? You don't have to answer out loud. You don't have to have it figured out. You just have to be willing to ask, because the asking is the beginning. The moment you stop pretending you don't know and start admitting that you do, something inside you begins to shift. The weight doesn't disappear overnight, but it stops feeling like something happening to you and starts feeling like something you can finally walk through. You're not broken because you can't sleep. You're awake because part of you is finally ready to listen. And the fact that you're still here, still reading this, still searching for something real in the middle of the night, that means something. It means you haven't given up on yourself, and neither have I. That was my confession for tonight. Next week, I'm going to tell you something that will change the way you see these sleepless nights forever. Because there's a truth about what happens to your soul after midnight that nobody is talking about. And when you hear it, everything will finally make sense. Don't miss it. If this found you at the right moment, share it with someone else who is awake right now, searching for something real. Sometimes, the right words arrive through someone who cared enough to pass them along. Subscribe and hit the bell. Every week, a new confession. For whoever arrives at midnight, subscribe, like, share this confession. See you at the next confession.